Hey, how's it going? Just going to show you how to play Cornflakes by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets today. Just before we jump into it, I'll let you know you can support me at Patreon. There's a link to that below and a video explaining what that all is if you're unsure. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I've also got a Spotify playlist that has got all the songs I've made tutorials for on it, so you can have a listen through that and see if you want to learn anything. Also, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. Anyway, now that's out of the way, let's jump into the lesson. So for this track, we're just in standard tuning, and got a few sections. We've got sort of two main riffs: the verse, which has got an A and a B section, and then a really simple, straightforward bridge. So I'll go through section by section, give you an example of each part, and then I'll show you how to play it. Alright, so we'll start with riff 1, which goes like this. Alright, so this comes back a couple of times in the track, really fun riff to play. Alright, so we're starting on the 5th string, 8th fret. Just sort of give it one of those. And for the strumming for this one, or the picking, we're picking individual notes, but we're sort of being a little bit messy with our right hand, or your left hand if you're left-handed. We're sort of going to be like hitting a couple of strings, then muting the ones around it with our sort of left hand. So you're hearing sort of scratchier rather than like individual picked notes. But that's just a little note on your right hand. Anyway, starting on 8th fret on the 5th string. Then we're going to go 8, hammer onto 10 straight away on the 3rd string. Back to 8. And we're just going to do this like slide down, so from 8 to 6, but we're only really hearing the 6th fret on the 4th string. As you can give that one a little sort of a bend. Then 8th fret on the 5th string. Then we go 6, 8, 6, 8 on the 5th and 4th strings. Then we do this little, which is 8, slide over to 9, back to 8. That's on the 4th string. And then to finish sort of the first chunk of the riff off, 5, 6 on the 5th string. Then you get back to sort of the 8th fret. So this first bit. So that's sort of the first chunk of the riff. Then the second half, or second chunk, really similar. So it's all exactly the same, except for the last note here. So once we do that little 8, 9, 8, instead of going 5, 6 on the 5th string, we just go 9 on the 5th string, which gets us back to 8. So this second bit goes... just like that. So then we repeat the first chunk again. So we play that. Then the 4th time round, we do this. So the first bit's the same. So we've got 8 on the 5th string, then 8, hammer onto 10, back to 8 on the 3rd string, then that little slide down to 6 on the 4th string, 8 on the 5th, and now we go, which is just 6, 8, 6, 5, 6, 5 on the 5th string, and that's sort of the end of the riff. So you've sort of got 4 individual chunks. So you've got the first bit, second bit, and the first bit again, and then that last bit that we just learnt. You play that whole thing twice, and that's sort of the first riff. Alright, so riff 2 happens straight after riff 1 and goes like this. Alright, so for this riff we're starting out on the 8th fret on the 5th string. Then we're going 8, hammer on to 10 on the 3rd string. Then back to 8. Then 10, 10, 8, 10, 6 on the 4th string. So that's sort of the first little chunk. Then we get back to 8th fret on the 5th string. And we sort of do it again. But this time we put 8, 10, and then on the 3rd string, and then 9 on the 5th string at the tail end of it. So we go. That's sort of the second chunk. The third chunk is the same as the first chunk. But then the fourth part of this second riff sort of the time signature gets thrown around a little bit in this section as well. So we go 8 on the 5th string, and then that's on the 3rd string, 8 hammered to 10, back to 8, 10 on the 4th string, then 8, 10 on the 4th, 8, 10 on the 3rd. Then we've got this little, which is on the 4th string, 7, 8, 9, 8. And you get back to the top of the riff. But yeah, you put all these 4 parts together, and that's riff 2. Alright, so pretty much the last part to learn is the verse. So the verse goes like this. Alright, so this is like the A section of the verse. It then goes up higher for the B section, but I'll show you that in a second. So the chords for this one, we've just got like an F bar chord. So we're just flattening our first finger across all strings in the 1st fret. And we've got 3rd fret on the 5th and 4th strings. And then 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So you get... So that's the first chord. Second chord is an F sharp major 7. So we're going to put our first finger 2nd fret on the 6th string. Then we've got 3rd fret on the 4th and 3rd strings. And then 2nd fret on the 2nd string. That's chord 2. Then for chord 3, we're just going to slide this up 2 frets. So exact same chord shape. And now we've got a G sharp major 7. So 4th fret on the 6th string, 5th fret on the 4th and 3rd, and then 4th fret on the 2nd. And then we're going to move that up 3 frets again, same chord shape, so our fingers don't need to move out of position. 7th fret on the 6th string, 8th fret on the 4th and 3rd, and 7th fret on the 2nd. So these 4 chords together. That's the first 4 chords. Then we just play the same thing, but just up an octave. So now we've got this F major. So 8th fret on the 5th string, and then you can use one finger for each string here, but I just flatten my 3rd finger out across the 10th fret on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So you get. And we're just going to move that over 1 fret. So we've now got 9, and then 11, 11, 11. Move that over 2 frets, but now we're playing a major 7, sorry. So we've got 11th fret on the 5th string, 13th fret on the 4th string, 12th fret on the 3rd string, and 13th fret on the 2nd string. And then move this shape over 3 frets. So now we've got 14, 16, 15, 16. So these 4 together. the A section of the verse. Now we've just got to learn the B section. And again, we've got the same chords, more or less, just up an octave again. So the B section is this. Alright, so this first chord, just an F major. So we've got our first finger on the 13th fret on the top 2 strings, second finger 14th fret on the 3rd string, and third finger 15th fret on the 4th string. So we just strum that, and then just pick each note individually from the top down. Just going to move the shape over 1 fret. So now we've got 14 on the top 2, 15 on the 3rd, and 16 on the 4th. So you strum that once. Then we've got this little, which is on the 2nd string, 14, hammer onto 16. Then on the 3rd string, 17, 15. So your sort of pinky is doing those ones out there. Then we go back to the major 7 that we learnt in the A section. But this time we're going to bar the 11th fret, top 5 strings. So do that, 13th fret on the 4th, 12th on the 3rd, and 13th on the 2nd. So you strum them, and then you pick them individually, but starting at the bottom. So you do that, and then just move it over 3 frets again. So you've got 14, 16, 15, and 16. And you play this through twice, I think. Yeah, and then there's a bridge, very short bridge, very simple bridge. It's just sitting on the 1 note the whole time for both bass and guitar, just on that F note. So 8th fret on the 5th string. So you can get a bit crazy with that. You can chuck octaves in, just to fatten it out a bit. But yeah, that's all the bridge is. That's with the sort of snare build up in the drums. But yeah, that's it for this track. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed learning along. Like I said at the top of the video, you can support me at Patreon, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and check out that Spotify playlist that I've got linked below. Like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. But that's it for this one. I'll catch you in the next lesson. Cheers.